We are now live. The June 5th, 2015 Small Business Accounting Advisors. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Hello, TGIF.
Yvette, do you
Yeah.
think I'd share my video with the group?
Oh gosh, that funny one with the elevator.
Yeah.
Oh, that's.
Oh, I need a joke. Let's
Okay.
do it.
Okay.
Well, Dennis, you got to send it to me through Facebook so I can look at it later because I'm on my phone.
Okay. Let's see.
Hi, Christina. While Dennis is queuing up our fun for today. It's been a while since we've seen you. You are muted. She must be here just to watch today.
Okay. Go ahead and look at it.
Oh, okay. I thought you'd be pulling it up.
That's pretty fun.
Everyone. Oh, I saw that. That's hysterical. How can we get that to show for everyone?
Let's see. Maybe I
Somebody's
can
got
share
to
my
share their
screen.
screen.
Okay. Let me see if I can share the screen.
I don't think it'll let me.
Okay.
It'll put me through the wormhole. Then I can sidestop at Joanne's and have that lobster.
That's right.
I'm gonna be vegan lobster now.
That's not it. That's not it.
Okay.
Okay.
Go to your Facebook, Dennis. Did you? I guess you.
Okay. Here we go.
Gee, I wonder where they get lobster around Schenectady or Albany or whatever up there. Hudson River.
Where I got my lobster, I got mine from Weggies, from Wegmans. It's actually Alaskan wild caught.
Oh.
Wow.
Wow.
Cold water
Sounds
lobster.
delish.
They're just tails. It's not the whole lobster. It's just lobster tails.
Well, that's all. That's the important part, isn't it?
I know, it's the best part.
So.
All right, I'm
okay, here we
seeing
go.
this thing.
Can you see it?
Okay, make it full screen, Dennis. Yeah, right there.
Oh, there it is.
Oh, we lost you. It was there.
I see you, Gina. I see Dennis.
Okay, here we go.
Here.
Okay,
If you
click on
Dennis,
Dennis's.
you'll be able to see.
Yeah, click on his thumbnail.
Ah, okay.
So these people get into an elevator, and then these other people come in, and they bring this huge box,
Mm-hmm.
and then they walk away, and leave these two poor people in the elevator, wondering what the heck is going on here.
They forgot the flowers. They're coming back in there.
Oh no, we missed the elevator. Oh no. Well, they're trying to get them back, and no, it's not going to happen. So they go up, up, up. Like my commentary? How did I get to be
I love it. I love the color commentary.
commentary.
This is like the voiceover. This is the Gina voiceover.
The funniest thing is how they scream. They scream bloody murder.
That's funny.
Hilarious.
Oh, that is so right up my alley.
I can't even imagine.
And they're just.
Oh my God.
Freaking out here.
Watch.
And here comes the worst part. Here is where I would just pee my pants.
Well, they do say sometimes after being dead, they're going through that rigor mortis stage.
So anyway.
That's funny.
Fun.
I thought what I could do today is I've done some more work on my smart sheet, and I've created a sample template. I used the construction company, the QuickBooks construction company for my customers, so I don't have to hide my customers.
Oh, awesome.
Cool. Let's
So
bring it.
So if we can look at that if you want.
Sure.
Yeah, I'd be up for that. I actually spent some time today with Mariette her and I did a little go-to meeting, and we kind of swapped
Cool.
apps stuff, and she was showing me a little bit of the method behind her madness of her smart sheet. So I'm more intrigued now.
Yeah, I sent her a copy of mine, so
Yeah.
I'll just see if I can get it to log in right now.
Yeah, once you start going down that path, 2 hours later, you'll come out of that.
Yeah.
Hey,
Did you
Jen,
guys see my little dub smash inside of Abo this afternoon?
Your dub smash?
Yeah. I did another little lip syncing.
Oh.
Oh, you have to
Before
bring
my-
that up once we're done with.
Before my chat, I was lip syncing to "Roll with the Changes" by Ariel Speedwagon, because we talked about changes that we're going to be making in our practice and the different things we have to, step up a
Okay.
level. So it's kind
Good
of fun.
theme.
Okay,
Good thing.
so
Okay, let's bring Dennis up. Okay.
Awesome.
okay, so what I like colors, and so I've got so whenever someone has when I've got my process, I have like the if I've filed an extension, if I've purchased a return, if I haven't started it, I'll put like a 1 in here. Let's see. And so it color codes it,
Wow, that's nice.
and then when I take it out, or when I so it's hooked up to the, and so if I move to the out for review right here, if I click on that, it puts a different coding, and then I just delete this, and then once it's been completed, I basically
Take
put
it
a
on.
1 in here, it turns this into green, and then
Oh, nice.
if they've paid me, like this sample, if they've paid me, then it turns this green, and I just put a check mark here, so I know that 1, I finished it, and 2, I've been paid.
And you can always count the number of processes you have to do.
Right, and so for example, if I want to see which ones haven't been started, I can just filter on a 1, and it
And
brings
it'll-
up the ones that I haven't started yet.
Nice.
And so then I can just remove the filter. If I want to see which ones I've completed, I can just filter on, again, the
Number
1,
1.
and it shows me which ones. And then I can see that I've been paid on these and I haven't been paid on this one.
So it's time to go talk to Kirby.
Yeah, so the thing I like about it is I can just kind of get a real overall view of what I'm doing, and then I've got my totals up here. And the nice thing about using 1s, it also serves as the count. I mean, it serves as a count of which ones are which, and then I can see. I can create logic like on here on some of my filters. If the status is in progress, and apply this format to the status column, and then I can actually color code the dates if I can go between.
Oh, nice.
And you can also do and statements. I think you can also do or statements. So like here, for example, I've got if priority is high and status is not started, then apply this format to the priority column. So it will tell me, like for example here, if it's not started and it's highest, then
Turns to red to catch your eye.
yeah, it kind of flags it which ones that I really need to get going on. So, like I say, it kind of gives me an overall view of everything, and it's very flexible, and I can put in, like I say, what I think is a difficulty, and I can see which ones I've purchased. I would have like 0 if it was not purchased, or if the extension had not been filed, it would be like 0. So if I wanted to do a filter on filter column, oh, wait a second. No, that's not it. Well, like I say, I've coded it so that whenever I change move the one, the color automatically formats by the logic.
Nice.
So it's just a real handy way of keeping track, get an overall track of how I'm doing with all my clients in terms of, okay, which ones have I not started yet? Which ones? It's really a lot more useful during tax season where I'm trying to figure out, have I bought the return? Have I filed an extension? And then I can actually, like I know, like you can link it to Evernote, so you can take notes in Evernote and then link it to the column.
Cool.
So it's kind of a working process. It's like when I'm thinking of doing things like, well, geez, maybe I'd like to know this. Maybe I can figure out how to do it in Smartsheet.
Right, right. Well, during tax season, you're in this kind of thing all the time. When it's not tax season, things can fall between the cracks.
Yeah, it's helped me keep things from falling between the cracks. Is what it's doing. Is that I can go in and by filtering on the different columns, I can see which ones I haven't started, which ones are out for review, which ones are, do I have documents on, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Like I've got data received, so I could filter on this. So if I want to do filter, I want to see which ones I haven't received data on.
May I ask a stupid question?
Okay.
It has nothing to pertain to, well, it is Smartsheet, but does Smartsheet only deal with accounting? Or
No.
no?
You could make
No, you
it
can
deal
put
with
also-
whatever you want.
Okay, so it's not geared just towards accounting.
No,
Accounting
it's
people
basically
tend
really-
to use it
Got it.
more.
It's really flexible. It's like you can it's kind of like a spreadsheet in that you can make it do what you want. Like for example, I've got my tasks. Like for Christie Abercrombie, I need to file an extension. Have I done that? Yeah. So I've got like the different lists in the box.
This would be really
where
good
I am.
Job track with. Like,
Pardon me.
this would be good for us to job track with.
Yeah, it can work for just about anything you need to, to keep track of, and you can put some logic to, and you can basically create different steps.
It
And
would help with the scheduling, I'm thinking.
yeah, it's basically a project manager, but it's in a spreadsheet form, and then it's got all the different formulas you can use. I've just kind of scratched the surface on the formulas. But it's sort of like Excel in that it's very customizable, and you can kind of, create it so that it kind of works the way you want it to work, and kind of, rather than you trying to cram your process into some system, it allows you to kind of
Customize it towards what you want.
yeah, customize it so that it's a way that you're comfortable working with. I mean, how Mary does is probably completely different than the way I do it, but she has different things she wants to track. Now, this is just a summary. I think if you need to have more detail for the individual client, that you would get more sheets. I think that I'm paying it's like if you do it annual, it's like about $13 a month. If you do it month to month, it's like about $17. But if you get, and I only get like 10 sheets, but I'm only using like about 4. And so I just need it for summary, and then for the detail, I just put it in to my CRM for, keeping track of notes and conversations and emails. So I don't really feel I need to have a detail sheet for everybody. I could just basically use the smart sheet as kind of a summary. Looks good. Getting hungry.
Joanne?
I'm showing
Lots
I'm
of-
showing the meal.
But yeah, I think that you could probably use it for your job, for your different
Mm.
jobs, and you could, like I say, figure out what things you need to track.
Yeah.
And
So you
Especially
guys
if you
want
want-
to do things like estimate, where it's at in its progress.
right,
All the way from estimate to received estimate to, do we need to order parts? Parts are in.
Right.
Right.
I'm doing something similar. I kind of created my own, what I call project management system. I
Yeah.
created my own, but it is in Google. So it's similar, but not as detailed. How about that? I mean, it's
yeah, like you can add this,
I guess.
you can add discussions
Uh-huh.
right here, and you can attach documents.
And this is online, so it can be shared.
Yeah, you can get it on your phone. You can get it on every computer you have. I get it on my Chromebook.
Okay.
It's online. The only thing that's kind of weird though is that you have to actually save it. It doesn't automatically save. Like some online systems, every entry you make, it automatically saves. This one you have to actually physically save it up here in the.
Oh wow.
So
Well, I
If
guess
it's-
it allows you to play around with it until you're ready to save.
yeah, like I said, I've just sort of scratched the surface with it. I haven't really it just made a big difference this tax season in terms of being able to stay on top of everything.
And you haven't done this in any other system, right? This is your first time in doing this in type
In
of.
Spark- yeah, well, I was doing it somewhat in Excel,
Okay.
but I've added, as far as the different steps in the process, but I've actually, where I've enhanced it is in putting down these kind of things. This was going in my CRM
Mhm.
before, and so now I can just put it here. It's all, so I don't have to be switching back between my CRM and in the Excel spreadsheet. It's kind of like all in one spot. So it's got summary and I got enough detail information, and then you can keep track. It's kind of like a to-do list right here, and you can keep track of the status and the priority. And then, like I say, you can color code it so that if you haven't started it and it's the highest priority, then you know that something's, so it's easy to flag it.
Yeah,
Right.
and I've done a similar thing in Google. So I think it's Google Docs that I'm using, where you put it in red and it sticks out basically. My biggest problem is just getting everybody to use it.
Yeah, so here I've got the highest priorities, and so
Right.
obviously I haven't updated this because they're finished, but like completed, then it'll go away.
Yeah, it's too bad that I know that you use Zoho, so it's too bad that they don't integrate something.
Yeah, I was trying to see if I could get like Zapier or
Yeah.
OneSAS to integrate, because what would be really nice if I could take notes in Zoho and then have it transferred over here or vice versa.
Right, because if not, sometimes you are probably doing duplication of.
Yeah, that's kind
That's
of
my biggest issue is duplicating in one program to the other. It's
yeah, I agree.
for error.
I think you can sort of do that, minimize that if you use Evernote, but I don't necessarily like to use Evernote for each client, because Zoho I think has better security.
Right.
So Zoho is kind of my preference for keeping detailed notes about what I'm doing with each client, and it also serves as a good place to repository for my passwords. And I also like the way it aggregates the emails for the client, so all the emails are in one spot, and then you can do attachments. And so it's, like I say, I practically live in Zoho when I'm working, because I'm always switching in and out of Zoho for the emails and to see.
I just tried to go back to Zoho. Didn't succeed there. It's still the same thing of having 5 different programs.
Yeah, that's kind of the like in a perfect world, I'd be able to.
Well, and it's never going to happen because what I need versus what you need are two different things. You know, one.
Right. Right.
I mean, even if I was in the same service as you, you do things differently than somebody else. You know, than
Right.
GP or.
Yeah,
But-
that's kind of the positive, the strength of it, and also kind of, I guess, I don't think you'll ever find a one-size-fit-all system.
No.
There's
Not unless I just build it myself, and by that time it's.
Rhonda, have you looked at the 17 hats?
I did. It's not.
Not what you're looking for?
No, you know what?
great.
If I was running a smaller business, I think 17 hats would be great. But it's not enough for us as much as we need. I can't do like the invoicing and things like that out of it. It's still not.
Oh, yeah, no, you wouldn't. No, your invoices are way too complicated for something like that.
Also, playing devil's advocate, I'm not sure I'd want to have, you know, all of my sort of cliche eggs in one basket. You know, what happens if one or 17 hats decides to go out of business?
Right, and that's, you know what, I mean, I can deal with that with any company. Right now I'm with Insight,
Right.
and it's the same thing, you know. I mean, Zoho's been around for a while, but, I mean, it's, you know, while scanning these documents, what I've been doing, like, I'm in 2011, I think, it's funny because I found a report that I had had a company do on our website when we first, like, it was some report, and it gave us a D. And and I was looking at that today, and I was like, wait a second. And so I started doing a little research on the current website, and I was like, wow, total difference between that report. And so then I went back to find the company, and sure enough, they bankrupt in 2012. So, you know, it goes for, it's hard because you rely on all these programs, and there's so many of them. I mean, literally, there's so many project management programs coming up now, and they're similar, but they do have their differences, and it's like that one difference. But what I find with each of these programs is they have 5 things that you need, but you always need 2 more or something.
Right.
You know?
Right.
I think the good thing about any of these, I mean, especially with what like Dennis is doing on his smart sheet, or what I'm doing like with 17 hats, or whatever the case, or Asana, or what Zoho, whatever the case may be, especially when you're talking about your workflows, is at least you're going through the process of figuring what those are out in the order that everything needs to happen. Because like the way I've worked with 17 hats, and I have all these templates set up, but I have them also copied, the wording of everything set up on my computer, because if something gets shut down, I can just find another place and already have those workflows.
Right.
What I like about it is I like the ability to be able to just do something and have the emails go out back and forth automatically without having to deal.
And I think 17 Hats is a great program.
For solo, but not for
solo, exactly. You hit it right on the nail there. For solo,
Absolutely.
it is an awesome program. I've told a lot of people about it, being solo people that I know, just to get something better than what they have now, which is nothing. So, and I think 17 Hats is a great program for that.
Well, what you have to look at, too, is you got to look at the price of it.
Right.
I mean, if you buy 2 years, it's $13 a month.
Yeah, I mean, you can't even. I mean, it's a no-brainer there.
Yeah.
That's for sure. And you know what? Most of these programs are fairly priced. I mean, everything is literally going, per month basis. It's just the way that it is. It used to be the opposite.
But everything is starting to get more and more expensive, and that's what, like I think I was saying in one of the last couple of Hangouts, I'm just trying to say, what do I really need? Because I'm sick of paying all these monthly fees for all these things that I'm not necessarily using at all.
Right.
Well, that's the big
and
thing.
that's why I always come back to Evernote, because I do so much in Evernote, and it's $60 a year.
Right.
That's where I keep all my contacts are all in there. That's where I keep all my receipts. Everything is all in there for $60 a month, and I haven't really been able to find something that can do all that. That I'm willing to pay $30-$40 a month to do that.
Right, when you're paying 60 months.
And that's the
think-
thing is everybody's different. You have whatever works for you doesn't
Yep.
necessarily work for somebody. So it's like, you know, I know that
Exactly.
there's all these, Asana, like you mentioned. There's, I mean, there's tons of them. Todoist and everything else.
134.
Figure out what works.
Sorry, Linda.
Well, the thing that I found is that I've got a certain amount of time and energy invested in like Zoho, and there'd have to be a major benefit to me to switch because the learning curve and
Time investment that you have.
time.
Well, also the way
energy.
that you work too.
Yeah.
Once you start getting processes in place, that's comfortable for you. You don't want to reinvent the wheel every time.
Well,
just
just
like
for
you
a
said,
marginal,
Joanne.
Very important. Is very
marginal incremental benefit. You know, to me, it's not worth it. I mean, maybe Asana is better in such and such, or maybe Trello is better in such and such, but that means I'd have to, one, learn it
Yeah.
and become proficient at it. And so what's my payback in terms of my
Yeah.
time invested and, you know, the money in terms of where it's actually I'm ahead of the game as
Yeah.
opposed to just sticking with what I have.
Well, you know, I have to say when you mentioned Trello. Now, I got turned on to Trello probably a couple of weeks ago. I've heard people talk about it, and I started using it 2 weeks ago. I'm working on a couple of different projects with multiple different people, and we were going back and forth. They were trying to do it via emails and stuff, and I said, can I set up, go to this website, sign up for a free account, and then I started a board for that project, and we all started working on it, and it was so cool how everything just fell into place because you can actually visually see the different boards, and it's like you can kind of move them around, and then when you're done with things, you can. It's just it's great for me for like collaboration, but I don't know if I necessarily would use it for like my to-do list or my client stuff.
Right,
It's a
exactly.
different purpose, but the good thing about it too is that it's, I think isn't it free for under a certain level? They do have a free level of it.
Mhm.
So I love free. I'm willing to play with something.
My
that's free.
biggest problem with finding all these programs, there's so many of them, and they all like more or less do the same thing, like to-do lists and things like that. So it's really whatever kind of what you're comfortable with. I mean, I've tried so many of them, and some I just can't stand the layouts. I can't stand how they work. So it's like, okay, see ya. Next.
Does anybody here use Wunderlist?
I have used it.
Okay, so what? I guess because somebody was saying the other day that they had to do something and they had to put it in Wunderlist, but I know this person uses Evernote, and I said, well, why wouldn't you just put it as a to-do list?
I know
in
Seth
Evernote?
uses Wunderlist.
Yeah.
Seth uses Wunderlist.
Yeah, I just don't know what what it does that's that much different than just putting it. Because she goes,
In
well, you have to
Evernote.
put it in Wunderlist, and then it automatically goes into my Evernote. And I'm like, why wouldn't you just put it right to your Evernote to start?
I use a
Right.
thing called Remember the Milk, which is, I think, kind of like Wunderlist. And the nice thing about that is it integrates with my Google Calendar. And so on the side, I can see my list of things from Remember the Milk. And then what I've done, because there's a lot of them, so what I'll do is I'll just copy and paste some of those up into the tasks that come with the native Google Calendar so they stand out more. And so I can, rather than looking at 20 different items, I can see like maybe 5 that I really need to focus on.
Gotcha.
So when I'm I kind of use my Google Calendar as kind of like a to-do list where I'll block off time and then when I don't make my goals, I just move the appointments around.
Yeah,
so to speak.
I used to do that, but then when I switched to doing the whole like secret weapon thing with Evernote, that's when I just started using the Evernote inbox. Is basically my the order that I'm supposed to do everything, prioritizing and stuff like that. So yeah, but I remember using the task stuff inside of Google Cal. So you say, Remember the Milk syncs in with that one?
Yeah, Remember the Milk syncs in with Google Calendar. And you can put different priorities on Remember the Milk, and it also
Remember the Milk free?
there is a free version if you want to get the mobile app. I think it's like about $15 or $25 a year. It's pretty cheap.
Okay.
It also integrates with Evernote. So if you do a something in Evernote, is it? God, what? it's just, I can't remember the exact setting, but anyway, it'll transfer.
I see it right here. It says you can manage your Evernote reminders.
Right, it's reminders.
With Remember
So you
Note.
set as a reminder, then it'll sync into. What you'll do is you'll see it, and Evernote will see a link to and Remember the Milk. You'll see a link to the Evernote, and so you click on that, it takes you to the Evernote. Same way with Smartsheet with the Google or the Evernote sync. You know, you can sync back to the detail note that you have in Evernote.
Now, Dennis, have you gone into? I thought maybe it was Seth that was talking about having it somehow set up in Smartsheets where it will email somebody.
That wasn't me.
Okay.
Could have been Sarah. Sarah's a big smart
I thought it was like that Seth was saying something that he put in this conditional formatting so that if somebody doesn't, if I don't have it marked that this person paid, it keeps on sending them an invoice every week.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
Wasn't
to be
it
annoying. Yes, it was Seth.
Yeah.
Hi, Dwayne.
That's why I'm going to stop sharing my screen.
Come back to us.
Come back to us, Dennis.
Yeah.
I'm getting hungry watching Joanne eat.
I'm sorry, I'm done. I was starving. I could have probably ate 2 of those tails.
Mm-mm-mm.
I was done.
Didn't make it through the wormhole in time.
Sorry. My husband already grabbed it because as he saw me coming upstairs with my plate, he goes, "Can I have 2 of them?" I'm like, "If Gina gets here first." He's like, "Who?" I'm like, "Never mind."
Yeah, this is kind of one of the benefits of these Hangouts is that we get to share ideas and, you know, sort of free consulting, I guess, in a sense.
Well, that's the whole purpose and one of the reasons why I started this.
Mastermind, yeah.
Yeah, and you just can't bounce these ideas off of your friends and family. They just say, "What?"
They look at you like
They don't get it.
foreign language.
Right,
Yeah.
right. So what else is happening in everybody's world today?
Well, I'd like to find out more about the ZeroCon.
Well, I'm going to have Justin. I invited him to come on today, but he's flying right now. My rep from Zero. So he's.
I saw the thing about Avalara integrating with into Zero. I thought that was quite interesting.
Nice. So
That's
Avalara
sales tax.
now. Right,
Yeah,
right.
Avalara. Yeah, and they've got a new KPI sheet. You know.
Avalara does?
No, Zero.
Zero.
Business intelligence.
Okay.
Pretty nice.
And
That's going to be just like the Intuit one, though.
it was kind of interesting to see the number of Intuit, the pro advisors that are heavily invested in QBO that were also at the ZeroCon. If you watched their Facebook or the feeds, it was kind of interesting to see. A lot of people, I guess, are sort of hedging their bets.
Well, diversifying. You just don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
There's a lot of anti-Intuit out there at the moment. A lot of it centered around the support. The support is so bad these days that is 90% of what I get from my Intuit website. People calling, trying to figure out how they can get someone to talk to that they can understand.
Well, if you're in Sleater and been monitoring the conversations in Sleater, it's the thing about the QBO credit cards. You heard about that, right?
No.
Let's see.
You mean the new credit cards that with the chip?
No, the where they were having their clients' credit cards were getting mixed up with theirs, or they were able to.
Didn't that happen to you, Gina?
It did, and that was why I completely shut down my merchant account.
Yeah, a colleague of mine up here, a guy named Keith Gormanzano, was saying that he can see his clients' credit card statements or something like that, and they aren't even clients anymore.
Oh, no.
And,
Oh, no. Not good news at all.
Yes, you can find the link.
Well, while you're looking, I'm going to talk to Linda, who said she's asking about the PayPal app linking with QBO. Has anybody had any experience with that?
No.
No.
No, I try to stay away from QBO as much as possible.
I try to stay away from PayPal as much as possible.
Do you
Just saying.
do PayPal, Joanne, with desktop?
I do PayPal.
No, I don't sync it, but I have a few people that use it.
Yeah, I don't.
They don't have a lot
How
of
do they get the
activity.
data in? Because I did that with a client, and it would take quite a bit of time. I had a way that I would download reports. I would have the client download reports from PayPal, and then I would sort it and get rid of I had a way to get rid of all the interim ins and outs. Because for every transfer that PayPal does, they do like 6 to 10 transfers of it in and out, in and out, in and out. And I wanted to get rid of the extra ones and just the final one. So
That's interesting.
I think that's where Xero does a really good job, because I don't think Xero does all the extra transactions.
and Xero just brings it in.
I think Xero just brings in balance affecting transactions.
Perfect.
Yeah. But from what I understand, Linda, supposedly that new app is supposed to work with QBO really well, but I haven't. I lost patience with them, so I'm not going to try it.
Right. I'm just going to get any of my clients that need to be able to do it somewhere else, I'm going to get them to go to QBox.
Yeah.
That's the way to go, myself.
I am hearing that there is, how did they put it? Someone put it, a group of desktop users are quietly gathering. I'm like,
Storm
oh
the
no,
castle.
is there a revolution coming?
They just storm the castle.
Power group going here.
Well, I haven't been informed of that gathering, and I use mostly all desktops, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see it going away
You're going
anytime
to be
soon.
our leader, Joanne.
Okay, well, here's the thing, is that I keep on hearing that from everybody in ABO that it's disappearing, and I will believe it when I see it, and when it happens, it happens.
Well,
Well, I figured this, Linda, and you'll agree with me. I said, once it does, if they say they're not going to come out with a new one, we still got at least 3-4 years, right?
Yep, exactly.
you can run it for a long, long time without it, actually.
I'm going to be retired before I even have to give a SHIT about that.
Right.
I'm going to be on a beach in Maui.
And Seth was saying that Jim McGinnis said that they're not doing away with this.
Yeah.
No, I don't think they've ever said that they were
They
going to
can't.
do away with them.
They can't. There
There-
is too
there
many
are
people. Well, the problem is
How many
that
customers they would lose?
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely.
On desktop.
here's the reality of it, and everybody here that's inside this panel right now, we're all from different parts of the United States.
Yeah.
Right? So there's some areas that are more modernized, that are more technology driven.
Yeah.
And then there's some areas where there's I have several clients that do not have internet.
Yeah.
Like, they don't have internet, so they are not going to be able to.
They wouldn't be able to move to the PBO at all.
That's right.
Online stuff. It's just not feasible. I have to drive out to them and work with their bookkeepers and stuff like that. So it's going to be until they can be able to get this whole nation to have high-speed FiOS
We're not
connection.
going to have that either.
Exactly.
Well, there's one thing that will tell me if the desktop is going away, is that if they start charging you yearly for the desktop.
Well, I
Because
do
that's-
see that happening. I
Because
think I
that's going
see
to
them.
that's going to tell me they want to get people off the desktop.
They're doing that now with their
Well, they're-
support plans.
Well, they're
Even
doing
with
it with Enterprise.
they're doing it with Enterprise, and they're doing it with Pro too. You can get a monthly subscription plan with
For their
Pro.
support, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
So
right now, people are basically buying it for 3 years, but once they take that away, they're going to incent people to either go to QBO or to go someplace else.
I don't think that QBO has the ability to handle especially when it comes to inventory assemblies and builds and stuff like that. It's nowhere near even ready to be able to do that. So
You better get their job costing tick better.
yeah, exactly. Job
Well, that's the
costing
risk,
in QBO.
they would be taking, is that I don't think it's clear that QBO is the best solution as far as online goes.
Well, every client is different.
Yep.
And many, like Joanne said, it may not even have to do with the internet. It is how the client deals with their work. How comfortable are they with technology?
Mhm.
All of these, apps that we're talking about are all kind of brand spanking new.
Yeah.
There's tons of them around. Eventually, they're all going to get weeded down to maybe 2 or 3 choices.
Yep.
So, and these people are just saying, hey, I don't want to be a guinea pig. I want to just do my work.
Mhm.
I'm not in the business for beta testing your product.
Yeah.
Okay,
And
I
I
just
log
put,
on.
Here's the reality of it too, and again, those of us who are still mostly working with people within the desktop environment, when it comes to my consulting part of my practice, the QuickBooks consulting, I make the most money off the QB desktop clients.
Right.
okay,
Because it's more not because it's messed up, but it's because it's a more complicated accounting to have to review and work versus somebody who's just on QBO.
Right.
Yeah, the QBO people tend to be the solopreneurs, where the desktop, they've been in business for a while. They've got people in there doing the invoicing every day. That is exactly what they do. They want to log on. They don't want to be clicking any kind of extra links anywhere. They don't want to be knowing anything extra. All they want to do is their number of invoices that they have to do that day. Then they have, they're working in a network environment, and they've got several people on it. They've got their own processes that are working for them, and why should they change if it's working?
okay, I just copied a link to the forum. It's very interesting discussion about QBO. You might want to take a look at it. It says this is very scary. Please read.
Yes, it does. That's exactly
Says,
what it says when you click on
It
it.
says I am utterly astounded that QBO accounts version would actually go to
But
my
it's
own
making
personal.
you sign in with Sleater.
Pardon?
It's making you sign in. I guess you have to be a member of Sleater.
Oh, let me see if I can share the screen. I'm sure that Doug wouldn't mind.
But I do think eventually, as technology catches up, there will be a lot of processes changing. You have to really think very differently to use the SaaS applications.
Yeah, it's basically saying that
It's hard to read, Dennis. Can you make it bigger?
I'm not sure if I can make it bigger on.
Okay. Well, just give us a summary.
Yeah.
Could you
Summary
read it?
works.
Is it bigger now or?
No.
Okay.
I can read it. Can't you read it, Dennis?
Yeah, it says what happened to me with QBO is very scary. Accounts edition. One of my major clients had 2 listings under clients for QBO.
Right.
One with capital letters and one with lowercase.
Right.
It says, but that I deleted and made inactive one under my practice client that does not have the QBO file associated with it. Then I went to my own practice file to do some of my own accounting and saw that this client no longer had a balance outstanding, which I knew was absolutely incorrect, as I had substantial balance due to me for my work for the past 2 months.
Right.
I looked at the details. QBO proceeded to issue a credit memo at my own company's accounting records and zero out the amount that was due from the client with the memo explanation indicating created by QuickBooks Online to adjust balance for deletion.
Huh.
Says I am
It's
utterly
automatically doing transactions for you.
Aha!
Well, that, it is scary.
Says
You've
I'm
got
utterly
accounts
astounded.
receivable out there, and QuickBooks Online is making credit memos for your accounts receivable. Oh my!
Says I am utterly astounded that QBO accounts version would actually go into my own personal accounting records and create transaction in my own company's file to affect my P&L, my P&L, my client's records, everything. I'm sitting here flabbergasted that this could occur. Does
Oh my
anyone have
God.
potential logical reason for this utterly unacceptable practice by Intuit's product?
Sounds almost like maybe it got hacked. I can't imagine them doing that. on purpose.
I'm sure.
Says this is one from my friend Keith. It says, well, I just signed into my merchant account from the Internet Explorer 11. I can view the credit card transactions for 3 former clients on QBOA. For one, I'm no longer their accountant. I can't access their file, so I wonder why I can see their credit card transactions. Yeah.
They've got a lot of cleaning up of their product to do.
Well, I think this is going to be extremely difficult because you've got all the hackers and everything out there, and they just love to fiddle with this kind of stuff.
Well, my theory is that they're rather than having a whole new system, they're probably trying to patch their old systems.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's causing the problem. They probably got a lot of spaghetti code in their old systems, and things aren't really talking to each other very well. That's my theory.
Or they're talking to each other too well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, but I thought that was when I see things like that, I'm really reluctant to get too involved with QBO. It just seems to me that there's just too many glitches.
Yeah, and there's going to be, until they get it all ironed out, and many glitches that they have no control over. Like Joanne was saying, no internet is a big glitch.
Yeah, in some parts of the country. Yeah, I mean, up in here in the Northwest with Microsoft and Amazon, and as you can imagine, it's pretty high tech up here. So there's no problem with internet access.
Yeah, I happen to live in an area that the internet is pretty steady, but I'm not too far out. I mean, you can go, I would say, 20 miles from where I'm at and get into a rural part of the state, and you do have internet access, but it's spotty, and that's even scarier. You certainly don't want half a transaction to send before it crashes.
Right.
You know, I mean, I can see real corruption happening there.
Yeah.
So. Does anybody, go ahead. Does anybody have anything else they'd like to talk about?
Well, I'm giving a Toastmaster speech tomorrow on robots taking over our jobs. Did you ever watch that video, Joanne?
No.
Oh, that ought to be yeah. Good luck.
No, I haven't watched that one.
Accountants writing the programming code.
Well, the University of Oxford did a study. So there's a 96% chance that accountants will lose some of their jobs to automation.
I
mean,
know.
you can kind of see it. You see it happening right now.
I think the bank feeds are still idiots. So.
Yeah, I'm with you. They have so much to get fixed and to iron out that I just don't see it happening right now.
Yeah, and you still have to allocate them to the right account.
Right. You still need to have people look at these transactions. No matter how automated they can become, you still need to have somebody look and see what's happening.
Well, I think you're going to need a higher skill set level rather than just typing data in. You're going to have to understand
absolutely.
what you're doing. And
I do see the role of the data enterer person going away, but I see it morphing into an analysis type of thing.
Yeah, you have to know if it makes sense.
Well, I'm thinking of running your business and the reports that you can get. There are apps that attach to QBO or Xero that you can get amazing reports out of. You can do your job costing. You can do all of that. Yeah. So.
Yeah, but you still have to know if the numbers make sense, you know.
Right. You still have to know enough about the business to make sure they make sense. Correct.
Yeah.
Yep. So what else is happening in everyone's world this week? Nothing.
Well, I do want to go to Sleater, and that means I got to join Sleater and pay for the conference and get my plane fare.
You sound so excited about it, Linda.
No, I
gotta go to Slater.
Did you see where NAN's changing their name?
Oh, they are.
It's going to be called Woodward Network or something like that. They're trying to bring everything under the name of Woodward for for branding purposes.
Okay.
I guess that's going to take effect next month, or maybe it's Scaling New Heights. Is Scaling New Heights this month?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they said I was on the webinar this morning. Actually, I was on listening to from my cell phone, but apparently they're going to be streaming 5 general sessions for free, but you have to register.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Yeah. So they're going to be streaming those, kind of like they did last year. That's one thing I like about that, is that they'll stream some of the general sessions.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Also, my phone was going in and out, but apparently they're doing some changes to the desktop certifications. Has anybody heard anything on that?
That's the advanced certification, I believe.
So what are they doing on that exactly? They're not making people take the advanced test again, are they?
No, I don't think they are, but too many people said it was too hard. And
Oh, okay. So they're
I
making
was
it
going to
easy.
see Yvette, did you get yours after? Remember we went to that class?
Right.
Did you get yours?
Yeah. I mean, I didn't take. I'm still taking the exam.
Oh, you are.
Yeah.
I haven't gone. I organized all my notes in that, and I thought I ought to go see, because if they've taken the exam now and I don't want to be doing anything on towards passing it, I'll just go to the new one.
This is the advanced one, right?
I beg your pardon?
This is the advanced one, correct?
The advanced, the
I'm
advanced
talking about
desktop.
the advanced one.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I took it, they changed it about 3 different times. Finally, they made it so that people could actually pass it. The first couple of times it was just a joke in terms of, I mean, the problem is trying to get a computer to score something that's really the answer as a result of a complex process that
Yes.
you may or may not follow their methodology. You get the answer, but if you don't follow their methodology, and
Then
you have to
use
watch.
wrong.
And the thing that was kind of tricky is that, like, for example, there was one question that was like in the last 5 minutes of one of the freaking webinars. And if you hadn't listened to the webinar, you wouldn't even, know the answer to the question. So it was. I wouldn't take it again. I think I just let it lapse. My thing lapse. It's not worth it.
Yeah. So.
I was at the original one they had in New York, where you just attended like a 2-day conference.
The original one,
and then they allowed you to do it online if you wanted to after that. And then they changed it after that because it was too hard. Like you said, Dennis.
You said, oh, you got a 65. Too bad.
Yeah, well, and plus, if you didn't have your settings correct in Excel, you would get a different answer.
That's right.
I actually had that happen. I'm like, I can't believe it. I can't, but I did end up passing, and I'm due for my renewal next year, but I don't think that I'm going to do that. I'm going to go with the QuickBooks Online Advanced. And once you're advanced, you're advanced.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I guess they're also changing the point of sale certification. I mean, I heard the last part. There were like 3 things that were changing, and my cell phone cut out on 2 of them, so I got the last one. And it didn't repeat it. It was like crazy.
Thank God for internet connection that we were just talking about.
Yeah,
Right.
the Wi-Fi kind of sucks, on my phone. So it's like, especially the Bluetooth.
We all got tech problems.
Well, I was trying to watch it, and it kept wanting to show me some AT&T crapware. Like on my cell phone, it was like AT&T Drive or something like that, and I couldn't get rid of it. But I was getting the voice, but I wasn't getting the video. I was getting a picture of AT&T Drive or some,
thing that you didn't want to see.
Yeah. So it was interesting.
Well, we have about 5 minutes left.
I'm going to the training next week, the local QBO certification training. Now, I got mine in November, so I don't have to take the test again but I thought that's a good way to go and learn all the latest stuff. Although maybe
The new stuff, right?
maybe the certification training doesn't include the latest stuff. I'm not sure.
I would think that they should.
I would think so too.
I know in Seattle they're having a boot camp at the end of this month, June 30th.
Is that Shelley?
Shelley and Beth Damus and who's that one? There's another woman who used to be involved with the friend of Stacy, and she was doing the Dawn.
Dawn Brolin?
Yeah, apparently she's going to be there.
Where?
And they're having some panel discussion on QBO versus QB desktops, so that'd be interesting.
Oh, is that the one that Seth and Dawn?
Dawn is the
I think Seth's going to be there,
desktop
too. Yeah, I
person.
think Seth. Yeah, it said Seth would be there, so I didn't see
Seth is
Doug
going to be
Streeter.
QBO and Dawn is on desktop.
Yeah.
I have to
Dawn.
weigh in and say Dawn. Yeah, Dawn's my girl. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I love Seth.
like
But
Dawn, yeah.
in this case, I'm putting my money on Dawn.
Well, you know, I have to say though, it's funny from all the different hangouts that I've been in on Seth's, every time he shows something about QuickBooks, he's always using QB Enterprise. So
Yeah.
he's always using a desktop version. I have hardly ever seen him inside of QBO on his hangout.
Yeah, that's true.
It's true, right?
Right.
Yes.
Thank you.
Well, he was at ZeroCon. Apparently, he looked like he was speaking there.
Yeah,
A picture.
he did.
He was a
Yeah.
speaker.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Eric Greenspan was there. They all had a great time.
Looked like they had fun.
Yeah.
We'll have to wait and see what Justin has to say.
Yeah.
See what new stuff he can tell us about.
I saw Doug Streeter was there too. I saw Misty was there, and
Katie Richards. What's Katie? Is it Katie
Peterson?
yeah,
Peterson?
she was. Yeah, Katie Pearson. Yeah, she was there. She actually helped write the QBO certification, didn't she?
Yeah, she's friends with Stacy.
Yeah.
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 Who else was there? And then there was it Stacy? The other Stacy.
Well, I know Shelley. I think Shelley Robbins was there, and I think Beth Damus was there.
Yeah.
Those are people I know up in my area.
Too. I mean, there's Stacy that comes on all the time, or on Avo.
Trying to think who you're talking about.
Maybe I got her name wrong. What's the name?
So, Christina, are you going to Scaling New Heights? You're down in that neck of the woods, right?
Yeah, it's down New Orleans. New Orleans.
Yeah.
I think Christina is still working on a tax return.
Yeah, 2014 tax return, it said.
Oh,
Not
she said
going.
not
She said
going.
not going. Sorry. I'm going to QB Connect. I'm going to be in West Coast.
Good.
Oh, wow.
I'm waiting for Sleater.
You know who else was at ZeroCon? Was Stacy Byrne. You guys know her?
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
yes.
I know the name. I'm not.
She got locked in somewhere in the bathroom.
Yeah, I saw that on the
In her
Twitter
room, yeah.
or on the Facebook. Yeah, that
Try
was
that
interesting.
door open.
Oh, no.
That's
Funny,
funny.
kind of scary.
Yeah.
Almost as bad as an elevator, right?
I was going to say, if the closet's opened.
Wow.
Alrighty, well, we are about out of time, everyone. Our hour goes fast every week. See you same time, same place next week. Hopefully Justin will be able to. Yes,
I
go ahead.
won't be here. No, I won't be here next week.
Okay, Linda, have fun.
Pass. But I'll be back the week after.
Good, looking forward to having you back.
All right. Very good. Have a great week, guys.
Okay.
Have a great week, everyone.
See you later.
Bye.
See you
Bye-bye.
next week.